All right, all right, all right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Some conservative review, baby. Conservativereview.com. Get it on. Hey, look, here's the deal with this article. If anybody wants to use this to put an exclamation mark on their month-long process of trying to downplay COVID-19 unsuccessfully, it is one hell of an exclamation point to put on that project, because I hate to tell you this, but it's extremely flawed, highly flawed. This is not where you want to put your exclamation point right here on this article by Conservative Review. Horowitz is misinterpreting this pretty badly, and anyone who's following him is doing the same thing and making the same mistake. And why are they making that same mistake? Because how compelled and driven they are by their political beliefs. It's amazing to watch. It's been amazing to watch. I can't say I'm just wish I never would have got involved in the whole political bullshit debate, but I knew it was a political bullshit debate when I got into it, and I knew it was a waste of time because there was plenty of other stuff to learn about the virus. And I've learned a lot about the virus, so I don't mind wasting my time a little bit on some politically driven bullshit. But hey, as far as Horowitz in this Conservative Review article, totally flawed. You're going to need to check this out. First of all, I guess I better inform people what it's about. This is, as you can see, the CDC confirms remarkably low coronavirus death rate. Where's the media? First of all, the CDC is not confirming anything in here about a death rate at all. There's no confirmation whatsoever. So, totally misleading headline to begin with. But someone who's very politically aspired and focused and guided is going to bite on this, take the bait all the way. All right. And that's okay, because it happens all the time. I mean, there's nothing better than a bunch of political divide to make people uninformed. You know, it's great. It's amazing how that works in this country. So basically what they do here, and you can read all this downplaying bullshit because it falls right into the hands of those that want to ignore all the other data, all the other evidence, all the 2,000, 2,400, 2,600 deaths a day for 15 days in a row, the 6,000 deaths averaged out per week over 15 weeks, 100,000 people dead after all the people underestimated it and downplayed it and all this kind of bullshit. Anyway, you can see what this goes on to say here. It says that this report that the CDC just came out with should be earth-shattering due to the narrative of the political class. Yet it will go into the thick pile of vital data and information about the virus that is not getting out to the public. Well, actually, it's definitely getting out to the public because it's on the CDC website. CDC has a YouTube channel too. I mean, it's not like the CDC is hiding anything. Okay. Matter of fact, what they did here is they created some scenarios, 5 of them actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you go down to the chart, you'll see them. Before I go down the chart, I'll go ahead and recap what it's saying here, which is, you know, that under the most likely scenario, the infection fatality rate is 0.26, or 0.4% under the symptomatic people. And it projects a 35% rate of asymptomatic cases among those infected. It absolutely does not project a 35% rate of asymptomatic cases. It is a starting point for a model. It's exactly what this is. So it's kind of funny to see those that have always bitched and moaned about the models to no end wind up coming to a settling point on a model so that they can yank their last chain of hope in the name of some sort of evasive mystery that they somehow have nailed it and been right all along about this. And they're looking at flawed information and misinterpreting it on top of that. And they're down now to what? Arguing over the mortality rate? Well, we always knew the mortality rate was going to be up in the air. Who cares about that? Nobody ever thought that the case fatality rate was going to be end all be all. It's not that way with the flu and pneumonia. No, that's all wildly estimated, which is kind of funny because those who try to downplay COVID-19 don't mind the wildly estimated flu death fatality numbers. It's just amazing to watch this shit go on. Anyway, so what you'll find out here is you're going to need to slow down and read this. But the Stanford researchers did not peg it a month ago. Their strategy or scientific approach was way off. They got their ass handed to them by other researchers and scientists. And by no means did they nail it. Especially if going off of what this report says reinforces that they nailed it. Because this report is not a report. It's a scenario. It's a model. Okay? And so what it does is it presents you with 5 scenarios. Now, how do they come up with these numbers? Well, they plug them in. And they tell you what the sources are over on the left-hand side. All right. So the first thing that you see across the top is the R naught. Okay, that's this. Well, I'm gonna have to actually go to the right page to show you what that is. But that's the R naught across the top. And another total bunch of misinformation is that COVID-19 is a 12-to-1 spreader. No, it's not. It's a 1 to 2.5 spreader. Okay. In other words, one person doesn't infect 12. One person most likely infects 2.5. All right. That's been the case all along. It's been talked about all along. I don't know where you've been. I know that you came out of this being up to your neck in the impeachment hearing stuff, and that ended early February. Well, a bunch of other people watched the evolution of the whole COVID-19 pandemic go over January and into February. So a lot of people knew it was coming. A lot of people watched the exponential growth of the spread of the disease, of the fatalities and all that stuff all the way throughout the month of January. That's why it was so disgusting when Trump came out there and gave everybody a bunch of lip service about this virus being under control, about 15 cases going down to 0 and all this kind of stuff, when we knew damn well there wasn't the first bit of monitoring taking place whatsoever. He didn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. He was issuing the American public nothing but belligerent lip service, man. Total fucking lying to the public, man. Didn't know his ass from the hole in the ground. So when you come out of the whole damn bullshit impeachment hearing shit, and then you dive into COVID-19 and all you got on your mind is politics, this is what happens. You wind up on a conservative review website taking the bait and swallowing it whole. So, it's not a 12-to-1 spreader. It's a 2.5 person per person. And one person gives it 2.5, basically. That's the R naught. But over to the left, you're going to need to actually go to the source article. I'm not going to do it all for you. I'm just not, man. If you don't care to, and if your viewers don't care to, I'm not going to walk you through the whole damn thing. You go to the source and you read the rest of the chart. It tells you what these line items, what the source of information is. You can't just take this at face value. You've got to go do your own research. The bottom line is, this is all estimated information. And by the way, here's one of the biggest things you might need to know. The CDC's serology program, where they do broad-scale testing to determine the number of asymptomatics out there, or at least the number of people who've had COVID-19 before, that was announced on April 6th, as you probably recall. It's not set to begin until May 28th. So, it hasn't even started yet, man. They don't have any serology information to plug into this to come up with an estimated number of asymptomatics. It's not there. Where's the rest of this? I'm going to have to actually go to the article. Or go to the CDC website to show you. But the bottom line is, what you'll see is, if you go do your homework on this, what they've done here is they've added up scenario 1 from left to right. Scenario 1, 2, 3, 4. They add them up. They divide by 4. They get their number for scenario 5. And that's how they come up with their deal. So when you go to the source on this and you look at what they did with the asymptomatic estimates, they threw 20% In scenario 1, they threw 50% in 2, 20% in 3, 50% in 4, whatever it is. They added up to 140. They divided by 4. They got 35%. And that's the number that this bozo who wrote this article is going off of, 35%. When it's actually an average number among a bunch of estimated numbers that they put in. Now, see, the beauty of it is here, my commenters are right. My commenters have been right about this the whole time. Every one of them. And yours haven't. So my commenters would do the research on this. Yours won't. But hey, I guess you got to keep an audience somehow, right? And I suppose that's enough of an update for you on this. Have fun.